Hey Brendan, thanks for sharing your reel on the Discord channel. Um, I've gone and thought, look, I started trying to write a bit of text and it started getting a bit long-winded. So I figured, why don't I just quickly jump on and do a little video recording? Hopefully it'll give you a bit more sort of insightful feedback to I guess, how I would review this if I was looking to hire a 3D generalist. So look, I'm just going to go through and show you how I'm sort of watching it and, talk you through what I'm thinking. I mean, initially when I start watching this, I'm, you know, um, impressed. Like I've seen a few of these projects before, and they're, your portfolio is starting to look cool. But when I'm watching it in the demo reel version, I'm, I'm trying to catch up here. Like I've actually just gone through, and I want to see more about this. And before I know it, you get along to this bit where you've done the photogrammetry, and I'm like, wicked. This is cool. He's going to really show me what he captured, how he used it, how he built the scene, and how you created a really cool rendering. But before I know it, you're off and you're into the next project. So um, what I'd actually prefer to see is really break this down. Like, and I think this is the big thing that a lot of artists forget. Like they see a company or whether it's a studio or it's a software company, they do a show reel. And a show reel is let's show the finished pieces and let's show how beautiful everything is. And that's very different to a demo reel. Like what you need to be doing is a demonstration reel and really spend more time demonstrating and explaining to a recruiter like how you came up with, say, this really cool sort of scene you've got here with the little men in the gutter. Like break this down. Like I had a look at your portfolio page, which I guarantee recruiters aren't going to do, but I can see you've got other sort of wireframes and shaded views there. So I would consider going back to this one and sure, come in, show me these cool, close-ups of it and the final renders. But I want you to then come back and spend a little bit more time breaking it down to show me how you came up with the final render. So myself as a recruiter, I can see and understand. You know what? This is awesome. Brendan totally gets it. We can have a chat. So moving forward. I can see you're responsible for everything here. Look, it's a cute little project, but once again, is this the sort of the best project you've got? I don't believe it is. I think you've got other projects that show off much better skills. Like there's cool stuff here, but is it really, should it be this far up the front of your demo reel when you got to think that a recruiter is going through a lot of these and, are they going to sort of be distracted or lose a bit of interest? So that's something for you to think about. One thing I would consider again, go through. It's cool that you're sort of doing the lighting turntable here to show what you've actually done. But is this matching a real world element? And I know what I found by going to your website is that you want to be into visual effects and you want to be a VFX soup one day. Like the best bit of advice I can give there is actually get the photographic reference and show that you took photographs of this object and you've built it and put it into this scene. It's very different to just saying, hey, cool, here's my finished render. Do you like it? It's you've got to show, you have the initiative that, you understand the role as a visual effects artist, especially as a 3D generalist. Like your role is going to be very varied and you're going to be asked to go take photographic reference and hey, here's this little submarine. Can you put it in this digital environment? You've got to show you understand how to do that. So definitely consider, demonstrating this more and, going that next level. This little guy here, obviously very cool. It looks cool. There's a great bit of realism there. There's a bit of interaction or some, nice dust particles sort of going on. There's obviously no interaction with the ground, but that's cool. Like it's a start. I do like the texturing and the lighting and everything that's going on. I got excited here where I was like, oh, this is wicked. He's going to start showing, a little bit more information, but instead you just here, you're really kind of showing the animation, not the, maybe not the materials or the model or the shader or anything that I'm sort of feel would be more interesting. So maybe again, consider instead of doing this sort of still lighting setup that shows the animation, why don't you show the textures, show the materials, show how you went from a very basic sphere and how you layered up your maps, and whether it's, you know, your modeling detail to actually get something that was kind of cool. That's what I would want to see as a recruiter, not just another little bit of the animation. So this character here, look, I would 100% ditch it. I would not show this to anyone when you're looking for a job. It's, you know, it's a fun little character. Obviously, that you learn some stuff with it. Did a little bit of a rig, and you've got some cool shaders going on. And I saw that you've sort of pulled in some models from some, you know, some online assets. But in terms of getting a job, this isn't showing off your best skills. You've got better skills, and this to me is your weakest project, and it really brings everything down in terms of you looking for a job in visual effects. So I'd 100% get rid of it and just put it down to a cool little learning experience. And, you know, doesn't mean, oh my God, don't show it to anyone. Just, I would exclude it from your demo reel. Where are we? Okay, so this is a super strong project, this one here. It's got a great breakdown. I love that you've got the wireframe. I can see, you know, you've got a bit of detail going on, and then you really show sort of the finished result. And there's some great shader work going on here, and there's some great lighting, and there's some great compositing happening. This is the elements of a really good visual effects demo reel, and this is what you need to sort of emphasize. Once again, you've come in, this is great. You know, there's great, you know, shaders going on. You know, I can see how you've built it up, but I would possibly, this is one of the stronger pieces for me. I'd like to see, you know, how you've done the wood, or how you've done, whether it's the cinnamon or the apples. Spend a little bit more time showing that, because this got my attention, you know, and maybe a recruiter wouldn't have got this far. Like, you know, I had a little bit of time right now, which is why I'm doing this, and why I kind of, you know, want to give you that insight, because a recruiter, I tell you what, they probably would have left at that last little character on the desktop. So this should be brought right up the front and put that little bit more effort into making this, you know, look as good as it can. Now, this one, I feel like it's a game asset. Don't know if you show a wireframe there. Yeah, it feels like a game asset to me. I could be wrong. Yeah, you've actually talking about triangles. So I feel like that's a game asset. Look, this is cool. But once again, I went to your portfolio and saw that you wanted to be into visual effects. So maybe there's a world where you should consider leveling this up in terms of detail, and, you know, showing this maybe in a live action plate, or showing the realism that you can take this to, and maybe changing it from a low res game model into something that could be used as a, you know, a mid ground to, you know, foreground asset in a visual effects film, because there's some cool stuff there. But I'm throwing, now that you're taking me to the games world. So, you know, obviously maybe early on when you were doing this, you didn't know where you wanted to head. But if you do think that's where you want to head, into visual effects, which that's what you've kind of said on your portfolio, go 100%. Like, let's update this and get this into something. Like, it's definitely not a throwaway. Like, there's cool stuff here. So, you know, let's get that going. Once again, this is another awesome project. Photorealism, great detail, great shaders, great lighting. This has got to come up the front of the demo reel, and this fits perfectly into a generalist, you know, visual effects demo reel. So it's presented well. I can see the detail that you got going on, and I love that. Obviously, you've got some great realism in there, but show me a bit more about how you built up those shaders, and maybe what texture maps you used. And, you know, you've got a great little sort of, you know, turntable here showing me the rice in this bowl, but man, I want to see the sushi. You know, I want to see these bits. These are great. So, you know, consider maybe just doing a turntable, or adding a little bit more detail, or more of a breakdown to show me that. And I think you'll be on a winner. This stuff's cool. Like, this is photorealistic. If there is photographic reference for this little audio player or speaker, show us. Like, put it in the corner instead of these, you know, the lighting spheres here. Show me that, so I can see that, oh man, like, he sort of went across and had the reference, and I've seen that the model looks great, the detail's enough, and here's the shaders, and before you know it, it looks exactly like the photographic reference. Another cool example here, I would just go back and, same thing, break it down and demonstrate the elements they're involved in this in exactly the same way you've done the other ones. And there's a great theme here. And same, if there's photographic reference, show it. But let's break down wireframes, shaded view, and demonstrate a bit of that kind of, whether it's the compositing or whatever elements made up those materials to get this looking so cool. This stuff, look, it's cool that you're obviously playing with tracking, but these just adding this in at the end. Once again, I think they put them down to experience and knowledge, and knowing that if you went to do it again, you'd be, a couple of levels up and maybe take on something a little bit more full on. But I think these should be removed from the demo reel because it kind of gets everything falling, a little flat at the end. Yeah, so I'd get rid of that one. And look, if you come back and you flesh these out a little bit, this reel is going to be great, man. Like seriously, it's going to be a really cool looking reel, and it's going to be really highly targeted to a visual effects company. And maybe that's where you're specializing in saying, as much as I want to be a 3D generalist, like really showcase whether it is just the modeling, texturing, and shading skills, or it's like, what, I really want to be lighting, but I'm kind of getting there, and give the recruiter something to play with. So look, hopefully that helps with the demo reel. One thing I did notice, and once again, this isn't something a recruiter is going to do. They're not going to come to your portfolio page, or it's very, very unlikely unless you're really impressed with your demo reel. So when I came here, I was kind of looking through, and look, it looks cool. There's a good range of additional work. I was just curious whether it was worth including a few more things in your demo reel, whether, I like the Squid Game character. So maybe there's a world where you do include something like this and, show a little bit of, more information about how you built this character, and, whether your gun model's actually really detailed, and hey, you went to town with the cloth on, this guy here. But have a think about it. If it really is a bit of a sort of hack, and it isn't to the level that the other projects are, then let's not include it. But look, overall, you've got a good range of work. I just think the demo reel isn't too far away from being, with a little bit of work, I reckon you could get it, 5-10 times as good. And look, I haven't even watched this stuff, but this is kind of cool. And even though it's definitely down the end of games, this is still kind of good stuff. There's a bit of buzzing going on, but to me, this should be in your reel. This should be in your reel, 100%. Even if it is using Unreal Engine, Unreal Engine's in visual effects. There's a mad crossover these days with all this stuff. So, I would put this in, and if you can, I would actually consider, if you have the ability to show, same thing, wireframe, shaded, materials, reference, like demonstrate how you created this. Did you match reference, or did you just come up with it? Like, there's no right or wrong answer. Just try and share that information. But, far out. That should totally be in your demo reel for sure. Anyway, hopefully that's kind of helpful. As I said, there's not too much I think you need to do to really have something pretty damn cool to share. So anyway, hopefully that was helpful. Thanks for sharing. And, I look forward to actually checking out a bit of an update. All right, Brendan. Cheers, mate.